handy to need to look back at anything. I'm just going to look at the formats, how they come out here now. Okay, so the bank is there, the credit cards. And just remind me again, William, how long is the company in existence?
So we started in 2019, but we've been using Xero before for the last financial year. And then on this financial year, we switched to QuickBooks. So instead of moving everything across, we've just started afresh. But we've got all the company accounts from last year. So if you want, I can share that with you. And we've got, of course, we've got the bank history and all that stuff as well.
Yeah.
But I've only imported from this financial year into QuickBooks.
Okay, or else we can just put in kind of opening balances at the start of your year, where whatever was in the bank, what you owned. Okay,
Yeah.
That's your wages. That's probably your tax on it. Yeah, well, most of the stuff is in the right place anyway. So
yeah,
just looking at that, I'll just look at the VAT rates.
I never knew you could get into this page. This is new to me.
Yeah, so there's always like tons here, but it's advisable anyway to kind of just check out how many are open there. So if I click on this, include an active, I'd say you've none inactive at the moment, but it can be worth, I'll just make that page a bit smaller. Yeah, it can be worth making a few of these inactive, you know. Also.
Yeah. No, I've noticed that there's a couple of like 0%, 0%, and I just kind of choose whichever one, but I probably should clean it up and use one standard. You got 0%, you got 23%, and all the others don't really use most of them, do I?
Yeah, I'm looking for there should be a little button here on the right that allows you to make them active. So unless that's why I'm making it smaller here to bring it up. So incoming. No, it's not. Yes, you've gone a bit further. Yeah, they're I don't know why. Perhaps it's my screen here. Is there any button on the right here that says make an active? No, for you.
No, I don't see that here. No.
Okay.
No.
Well, it will appear at some stage. Oh, VAT 23.
You might have to click into, yeah. No, there's not. No.
Okay, I'm just looking. So I know the VAT rate changed from 21 to 23, and before that 23, but sorry, it's jumping around there a bit.
Yeah.
So there's a VAT rate in there, a VAT rate old. That doesn't need to be there because depending on the date of your sale or purchase, it'll claim the 21 or the 23 itself, just by clicking standard.
Yeah, so I actually used that for one transaction, and then I figured out that it changes automatically anyway, because I was doing it retrospectively when I uploaded all the it moved down to 21% in September, October. Yeah. I was putting in the stuff from June and July, and now I didn't know it was calculated at 23, so I just created a new one.
Okay. There should be a thing here though for making an active, but I'm surprised it's not. I've never seen it not there. So, but anyway, it'll appear at some stage. So we'll go after that. I'm just going to look at another report that says how the bills are. We'll open this up here. And I'm going to look at accounts payable, which should be down here. Went too far down.
Accounts payable, is it?
Yeah, it's coming up here now, the one I'm looking for. This one here, supplier balance summary. I'll just pick it there.
Ah.
So, do you enter bills and then pay them off? Is that the way you operate? Oh no, there's no bills in there. Okay.
The way I do it is that I've got some, yeah, there's not, I think there's, yeah, there's no bills in there at the moment. The way we do it is we've got the standard invoices and stuff that come like for Microsoft Office, and then we've got this subscription, and then Zoom and a couple of things like that automatically come through. I don't set them up as bills. I just reconcile them off the bank statement. And then what I've been doing for the, then there's other things like when we get purchase orders for a bit, the larger things. So like I spent €900 the other day on some design work. That then I'd create as a bill, and then I'd match the bill to the transaction.
Okay, and when you say matched it, it's on here or it's in your file?
It should be on here.
Okay, just gonna look now. One that's random. Down the bottom here. Okay, so.
So no, sorry, not on these ones. No.
Not on those ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of use this other thing, Dex. What it does is it'll keep a PDF of your bill there. So I'll just slide over. Oh, I'll do it in a second. Pick a different one there. Parfum Murphy. Oh, that's your. But they used to have a great website.
That was the previous accountant.
Yeah, I kind of like their websites. These have a nice kind of funny theme to it. So.
Yeah.
But oh no, this is your screen. So if you'd have I'm trying to pack something over. The thing we have is another program that gathers in all the purchase bills from Xero and that, but it'll always keep a PDF of it there. So that if somebody's quitting anything, we can check on the rate straight here, you know. So, but even if you're not using Dex, it's advisable to keep the scanned copy of the bill there.
Yeah, I did recently notice if you close this, I'll try to be quick about it, but if you close the
sorry, I'm just checking for an example of a PDF like
no
that.
worries.
So I'll grab this one. We'll see.
So there's an option, I think there's under banking, and then there's a receipts option as well. You can upload receipts or get them directly from your email.
Where is that in here? Is it?
It's under banking. Yeah, so banking and then receipts.
Oh yeah, that's the new. It's been here a while, but
this is quite new. I haven't used it yet, but you could either forward from email or you can go direct to the. I only noticed this last week.
Yeah, it's a new feature. They were asking me about it, like the developer guys. But this other program, dext.com, is really powerful for this facility. And anytime I've used this, was on the app for years. Anytime I've used it, it'll take the receipts, but you kind of have to tell it, or you did anyway, who the receipt was from. So you might slide it in there from Xero, and then it'll say, what do I put in? So it turns you into a real bookkeeper, you know? Whereas the other one, you just slide it in and it reads it and puts it into where it kind of works out most of it, and then you can program it for what it doesn't know. So so I haven't really, I mean, this is a great facility. If somebody emails you a bill, it'll forward into it as well. And that's new, and I haven't tested that. I've noticed it coming up, but I've got such high confidence in the other program. These ads, I know it's experimental, so I don't want to go over there. Yes, you know. So I haven't tested that out, but I might ask the equivalent to me in South Africa about it. So these are working. Okay, but that's let me click on that while we're here. So let's see what it does. Into an email. Okay, forward your receipts to an email. Okay, yeah. So this could be Bavel Consulting at QBOdocs.com. And then when your invoices come in on your ordinary email, you forward it to this new email address, and it should land in here.
Yeah.
So I'm on Pesto now. I know we have this other program that does exactly that brilliantly, but also you photograph it on an app and it works it out, and also will go up into websites with your username and password and download the bills directly straight in, you know. So and you need that as well. So but anyway, this is the start. These lads are coming this, but I wouldn't go this way yet. These guys. Yeah.
I can see how it works, because if you two different subscriptions coming in from the same company or something, or two purchases, would it separate them, or would it?
Okay.
Try it out and see.
Okay, it's not bad what you have. I'm just strengthening it up, like, you know, like it's more or less in good shape. I mean, the things we like to do is, I was looking at the profit and loss, is call things what they are. So it mightn't be that important to you right now because you know what's going on anyway, you know. But when it comes to producing final documents, more thinking of the entire person, it's great if things say what they are. So things are like uncategorized sales. Depending on the different type of work you do, we just have a few headings there, and you can expand it for the detail and contract it for aviation consultancy sales, you know. It just means when you're given the information to someone else, the answers are on there without them having to ask you a lot of questions, you know? So, and same way, my cursor going with the balance sheet here. The things like accounts receivable cause money owed to you. Yeah, it's done on the cash basis or the accrual basis at the moment. Do you understand those terms, William? Not yet, no. No. Can you hear me?
Sorry, what's that?
Yeah, I was just going to have a look and see if it's done on the cash basis.
Just about.
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
It's cash basis.
Cash basis, all right.
I think there might be a delay.
There's a bit of a delay, yeah, all of a sudden, but it's okay. We'll write it out. So a quick look here. Okay. So that's your opening balance there, yeah. Money in the account.
Yeah.
Trying to get down to the bottom here. Yeah. So
another thing maybe to mention is that we do our payroll with Simple Pay, so that automatically feeds into this as well.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
An app for Simple Pay that we've linked to. So.
Yeah, I like that program. So we need to make.
I use it as well. Simple Pay.
Is that just, I mean, it's in, you know, it's in relatively good shape, you know. I kind of prefer the accrual basis to the accounts. At least we can see what money you're owed will come up and what money you owe. Let's see the bank account here. Linked, yeah. So this stuff is in the waiting room. We seem to have a good understanding of that.
Yeah, there's a couple of things, like there's the revenue VAT payments and stuff. I don't know where to categorize them, so I'm just leaving them all on the to-do list until I figure out where to put them.
Yeah, which ones are you talking about? The revenue grants, is it?
No, so these are like the VAT reimbursements, VAT.
Oh yeah,
reimbursements.
Yeah, you put them in the VAT suspense account.
100% sure on where I should be putting them.
Yeah, the VAT suspense account.
Okay.
The place for them. This would be worth doing as well. The reconcile just means you're matching. Okay, you're matching your bank account in the bank with what's on QuickBooks. So we're just going to have a, I wonder when that is from. We just have another look here. Reconcile.
So I remember when I was updating this, it took it straight from the bank. So it just took the statement of the bank, which was,
yeah, there probably is
20,000
dead on, but sometimes it can download things twice or miss the odd transaction. And when you're doing the full matching,
got it.
the thing to do is like have your bank statement from the online banking and just tick off, make sure everything is on there. So actually there's no reconciliation done yet, I don't think. All dates. This gives me the historical. Okay, no, it's not done yet. So click in here again to see your first. So that figure at the start is probably the balance that was there when you switched over from 0. I'm just going to have a glance at it here at the end. Last.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's 20,433.77. That was the balance on this stage when you opened it, okay? And R means it's matched up with your bank statement. So you've done that in the past already. So we just write that number down for a minute, 2433. So a good exercise for you to do, take down that number there now, 2433. I'm not trying to give you work now. But this is the one thing every business person should do. It's just be checking the bank statement. You're, I'd say, on top of this anyway at the moment, but you'll find as time goes on, you need to be at it every day, and you'll be amazed what you discover. Stuff coming in or out that you wouldn't have known about unless you're watching it like a hawk. You could pay someone twice. So I'm just going to open this reconcile again.
Yeah.
And I'll just show you how you do it. Okay. I'll send you a recording of this chat as well. So there's that opening amount of money in the bank. Okay. What you do is you pick a date in your bank statement, you check the balance. Okay, what is it today? Now I'm going to go right from the very start. So on the 2nd of July last year, 2433, it was exactly that number there. So I'm just going to start from there, and you'll see what it does here. So we'll go back to, or if we go this way. Okay, that was the 2nd of July, 2020. So the 2nd of July, I had 2043.77 in the bank account. I'm guessing because you put it in there, right? I'm not looking at the statement, but I'll go start reconciliation, and that could be a month in between those two transactions. Okay, and what I'm saying, these two items hadn't passed through on that date. Okay, but it's only showing me what else is dated on the 2nd of July, and could make my difference. Or maybe this one, 2433.7. Yeah, the difference is 0. Okay. And then when you go to the next date, let's just say it's the 10th of July. I'll finish that for now. Yeah, I haven't ticked those two off. But when I look at my bank statement on the 10th, what you want to see is R's beside everything, which means everything on the bank account in or out is reflected in the accounts. Even if it's in the wrong place in the accounts, at least it's in there, and we'll move. It's like moving furniture around the room, but at least it's in the room, you know. And so we'll say a week later.
Yeah.
I'll make this up. The balance was 30,000. Here, 20 again. June 5. There's the 9th. It'll only show me what's gone through your QuickBooks in those days. It won't, as we try and do the whole year at once, it'll be ticking away, and you might miss one, your eyes fall out of your head, you know. So what you do is you have the balance at the start of the week, we'll say in the end of the week, and then you tick off what's actually gone through the bank account, and the difference up here needs to come down to 0. And if it doesn't come down to 0, there's either something within here that you've ticked off that didn't go through the bank, or there's something that went through the bank that for some reason or other wasn't put into QuickBooks. And how that can happen is it might have been in there and you deleted it or someone deleted it. And once it's deleted out of it, it'll go out of that waiting room, all right. But then if you delete it there again, it won't come down from the bank again. So I'm just going to untick those. So that's how you do it. You just tick off what's gone through between the two dates that are in this edit info area. So that's worth doing big time. And so now I've made up that balance, but you can change it again when you're changing your date, okay? It's not going to stop you from changing there. Okay.
What I'm just doing there is I'm going into the bank statement and seeing what the bank statement was, let's say at the end of every month, what the bank statement was at the end of the month, and putting that in the ending balance.
Yeah.
And then going through all the transactions of the month and yeah.
And it'll put an R beside them all, okay? Another thing I just noticed there as well.
Yeah.
Now I'm just showing you my review here. It's like a health check. Like I'm not saying you have to go fixing these things. If you hire us, you know, we'll do it. I'm talking to it here. Okay. My son is looking in there. His job was rained off today, so down here I saw, I think it was here I saw, or maybe it was in the bank account. Yeah, let's go back up again. I saw you kind of allocated VAT rates to certain categories. So that chart of accounts thing that's down here, that's like a map of the accounts between the profit and loss, which is day in, day out stuff, and the balance sheet, which is like a freeze frame, what you own and owe. And see over here, these rates.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, they're probably not wrong or anything. Well, Adobe, is the VAT on that in Ireland, yeah?
I'm seeing on my ones, on my invoices, I'm getting VAT on that. But then there's other things like Zoom, I'm not getting charged VAT for those.
Yeah, it could be two things. It could be they have your VAT number and they're from within the EU. And therefore it's meant to be, it's kind of complicated. It's meant to be what's called reverse charge, which is one of those VAT rates I'll show you in a second. So there's zero now. So this is where it's very useful. This is where we kind of make sure we've a copy of the bill in 99% of the cases attached to that expense, because we can just click in and look, you know, when you're on the transaction. So if I open this up, let's see how this one went in. Just so there's a good few. Just I'm not picking on zero. There's loads. I thought Wix there and a few more. It can be hard to tell. I'm just going to open this one up and have a look at. So the zero there, and yeah, there's no attachment here. Do you know offhand where that zero crowd are based?
No idea.
No idea. Okay.
I can pull up an invoice. I'm going to do that. If you want to see the invoice, there might be an address on that.
Yeah, there might be.
But it's 0% VAT. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll show you what the relevance of that is. It's just I'll start at the end. There's a form that goes to VAT-Man once a year for the return of trading details, and on that, it reflects everything you bought and sold and the VAT rates you claimed or paid on them, okay, or charged other people. And when you buy from within the EU, they take your VAT number normally, right? And it does an odd thing. I'll demonstrate it here. So if it's something that if you purchased it in Ireland, you would have paid VAT on it, okay? They want to know how much VAT we would have paid and would have claimed. And you're meant to do what's called reverse charge. So this is, even a subscription, it's either service. I know it says 0% and you wouldn't know what it is, but I'll just we'll go reverse charge. Is it a service, these things, or is it a goods reduced? It's not that one. There's a lot here, that's why we kind of reduced them down. Hang on, I'm just gonna, yeah, it's probably reverse charge goods reduced. No, it's not that one now. I almost want to be a code breaker, but I'll show you where it explains it here. Yeah, this one here. Reverse charge goods, RCG. I'm going to click that and you're going to see something a bit weird now. Yeah, you see what's done down here? It's added VAT for that zero bill and it's taken it off as well. Okay, and that means if we had bought this in Ireland, we would have paid 783 on top. But we didn't buy it in Ireland, so it takes the 783 off. Okay, and then on the VAT return that you send in, it adds both of those figures, the T1 and T2 figures that go into the VAT man. That's what it does.
Yeah.
And if you're buying enough of this, it gets reported to the tax people all the time of what VAT numbers in Ireland are importing all the time. And if you don't show it on the VAT return, they'll either write to you and want to know what's going on, or else they'll call out to you and want to know what's going on. So it's important to have that one right. Now you wouldn't know that straight off, you know, that's how to do that. But it catches, like the bigger a business you become, like the more relevant that is, and they're always looking for a reason to get in a car and drive out to you. Now, where you find the answers to these things, but it's to, I think on our setup, was I showing you the last day, the stage of the setup? Did I show you that, William? No? Have I lost you? Might have, okay.
I don't think it did.
Okay. You know what? We'll stop sharing for a moment because maybe that's interfering with the. Okay, stop that for a minute. Okay. Can you hear me better now?
I can hear you, yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna click into one of my own QuickBooks is here. Okay. Let's get on. So you bring up the coffee house. Yeah, there's kind of a bit of tidying up to be done there, all right, but just so you know what's going on. So let me see the coffee house. This is the demo company I set up. So that place that you hadn't noticed the taxes thing before, I'm going to show you that here. Am I sharing my screen now? Or I'm not?
No, I don't see your screen yet, no.
No, sorry, I thought it was. So I've just gone into a demo company, clicked on taxes.
Yeah.
I'm going to go edit rates. Yeah, you see these things here, action.
Yeah.
I couldn't find those on yours, but this is where you make them inactive or something like that. So now there's loads of rates here. So what we do is we get rid of the ones that we don't want. So say we don't want that one. So it comes away from the choices that we have to make, you know, the less choices you have to make day to day. And the one I chose for you was RCG. I'm just, there is a lot, there it is, RCG. I'll just zoom in on that. So nothing to do with sales. So what this means is if you buy something from within the EU, and if it had been bought in Ireland, it would have been 23%, okay? Then you click on that. But it has to be bought outside Ireland first, but within the EU. And there's loads of rates like that, but you don't have to use them all. It's just a matter of what's applicable to your business. So where are your customers based, William?
All over the place.
Okay. So
customers
some of the rates
all over. And
okay, so the ones in Ireland, you're charged 23% unless they have a VAT exemption certificate, okay? And then it will be 0. The other ones, RCS, let me see that one now. down the bottom here somewhere. Sorry, EUS. For services sold to buyers in the EU. Okay, now it's still 0, but they want to know, it's like an export, in other words. So that goes into a special place in the VAT forms. And they're all over this. Then if you're selling outside the EU, okay, such as America, okay, it'll be this one. All right. And, but all these rates end up in a particular form called the RTD, or Return of Trading Details. And I was looking at a client there tonight. You get 6 of these held up, but eventually you get held up. This guy, you won't see his name now or anything, but RTD hasn't been done, RTD hasn't been done for years, you know?
Yeah.
They're complicated forms, and the tax man is stopping tax clearance cards going out. So, but really what I'm saying is there's tidy up stuff to be done for you. It's not just habit making. Probably need to move your accounts to the accrual basis, I think. You're probably thinking of VAT and stuff like that, but we can always handle that. The reason I prefer the accrual basis is when you stop the accounts, you can see what you own and owe and who owes you. That's the first thing. And you're probably not charging VAT that much. So, like, it's not like you'll be overpaying VAT, you know, by putting an invoice in there and waiting for your money. If you are, we just put in a credit note to take it out of the sales VAT for the 2 months. But I mean, it's in relatively good shape. It just needs to be tidied up. That's more useful.
Yeah.
That's where it's at, you know. But I can see loads of quirky stuff that, you know, way it works with us is we tidy it up straight away. We train you on what we kind of think is the best thing for you, and that you understand. And then we really stay with you strong at the start. But the better you know what you're doing, the easier it is for us the week after and the week after. That's how it goes. And then, so a lot of them now I put in big hours with at the start. I don't hear from them much now. When they do ask a question, they ask a really good question, you know. So whereas if we leave people untrained, we're just flooded. We can't keep up with all the queries. You know, that's the trouble. Just I'm trying to think back on what you were asking me. I know you're not changing accountants, but I've been held up a lot on that adding a user at the moment, and I'm looking at the names here and I'm trying to remember where I was. I'm going to show you our stages here now about moving online. We have a timeline, and here it is. Yeah. So what I've done there. Oh, sorry, I'm not sharing. Oh, geez. Yeah. So this is a little timeline thing. I'll email it down to you. And some of this you've done. It's just a matter of making it more useful to you. So the first thing we do is we get the background details to see what you're doing and how accounts should be arranged, that type of thing. So things like the opening balances have to go in from the 0. That's fine. Gets you set up with definitely decks initially, that all the bills that are coming at you through email or through downloads or into the post box are making their way into the QuickBooks to attach to those bank transactions. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is pretty automated. Then the right VAT rates are put on everything. So do you file VAT every 2 months? Is that what you're at the moment?
Every 2 months, yeah.
Every 2 months, yeah. So we kind of automate the VAT return to be compiling itself up. And then what happens is when you file the VAT, you might have done this already. It just clamps down on what's claimed and paid. So we'll give you a fee proposal early on. I'll probably be able to do that today. But you'll have it tomorrow though. And then the QuickBooks, although it's set up, and this is typical, it just needs to be rearranged. And actually, we like to move your license under our license, because when I give you a fee proposal here, we include the subscription and in it. Wait till you see it, but the monthly subscription includes support as well. So you'll find it'll be good value because we pay less for the QuickBooks than you do, you know, and so that's how that works. Same with Dex, we include that subscription in it as well. I give you a 30-second video just on how to set up your password and enter a few initial transactions. We schedule 90-minute training with you. That's recorded with a month unlimited. Your bank is already connected, so I have no other comment on that at the moment. And then as the information goes in there, we begin to see what's actually going on, and the programs are learning, and we deal with the issues and make sure the reporting is right. And then as the bills are coming through this receipt bank, which is now called Dext, we see which ones have to be downloaded, like Electric Ireland or eFlow, or I'm just making the ones up in my head, but we'll have a better understanding of what's not being entered in automatic. And we'll send you one email with lists of them, and you just enter your username and password for the different websites. Nothing happens. And then in the next few days, the bills from Vodafone or whatever start automatically coming down and going in there. And we never have to go after them again. Then we just check in with you after that every now and again. And the year goes by and all this type of thing. And depending, I have a little checklist here just explaining it in case you think I'm remembering all that. So I'll email this to you. And at the end of the year, it's the finish line where the company's office accounts, which are abbreviated, go in, tax returns are done, accounts are checked, but it's more for what's not in there than what's in there. So you'll find the system will have, like all accounting systems, it'll have 70 or 80% in there anyway. It's a matter of what's not in there. Have you leased a van? Have you leased a car? Is there a pension that we could claim for? Is there depreciation on the assets that we need to start claiming for? Is there another tax break called capital allowances? Is there a contingency claim? I don't know. Is there discounts that we've agreed and we need to provide for? It can be anything. It's a matter of what's not in there, you know. So
yeah.
But the more online the accounts are, the more reasonable those fees are. And so even though I'm not in the business of being reasonable, but it makes it with 5 grades. The 5th grade is not online at all, and I'll show you our pricing actually, how it goes. Actually, because it's very transparent. I'll just find where I've left it. Yeah, it's over here. One of them open here. I'm just wondering, am I waiting for something? I'll just. Yeah, I'll just open up a new one. Okay, so this would be a typical way. So you'll be a limited company accounts, and what we put in at the start, what it exempts is your average revenue range, right? So I'll just pick one at random. We'll see what the year is. We'll say it's 21, January to December. We'll specify exactly what's got to be done, and I can actually give you the setup quote now in a second, actually. But it's interesting to see the 5 grades. So we've online using Dex, the banks are connected, you've done the training, and you're good at keeping things up to date. That gets the biggest reductions because you've done more and we have to do less. Okay, so the turnover and the amount of people in the business will largely dictate the amount of work we've done. An English crowd set up this, and it's really good. Then the grade 2 is a bit dearer. It means you're online with QuickBooks, but you don't have Dex and the banks aren't connected, but you're relatively up to date. So there's going to be more for us to do. Grade 3, you're online, but you're not great at it. Or you're on desktop, and it might be good, but it's still not online. So that's the dearer one. 4 is online, but nothing is right. Everything's in a heap. I'm bad at the desktop. Or 5th, not online at all. And if I were just to randomly go with that, okay. That one's yearly accounts there is a grade 1 with everything brilliant. It's only 336 plus VAT. Whereas if they were, and they're 50% online there because I'm on both the programs. If they weren't on Dext, we just established the facts really, and then we see what it comes out at. It goes up to 504 because we've got to do more routing on the bills. And if they weren't online at all, we'll say, so they're not online, and there's a 50. So it's more or less a box or a load of emails. 2,160. You see the extremes for the same size of a business, and that wouldn't be an unusual fee. So, but for you starting off, I didn't really look at your sales for a year there. I know it was a bad year, But what would you expect things to be in the next, say, for 21, William?
Yeah. So what I've done is like we started 2019 and then we're in 2020. We've kind of just scratched off this year because of COVID and stuff, and we're hoping June, our next financial year, June 2021 to June 2022. If it's going to be similar to our first year, it'll be, what's it? I'm actually going to, what I'll do is, 1 second, I'm going to pull up my company accounts. I'll give you the right figures.
Okay. So while you're doing that, I would just click on the QuickBooks transactions here, actually with Receipt Bank, yeah. Because it's cheaper to be with the program that gathers all the stuff than without it. At least 2 people in the business, but less than 6. 1 to 50 purchase per month, it goes up and up, but I can tell that's your level there, 1 to 50. Multi-users, 1 or multi. So the setup with the subscriptions is half the price of being without it. The training is included in the setup when you're doing the setup. If it was training on its own, it'd be 250 on top. Sorry, it'd be 250, just straight training. And the support is only for people who aren't doing the monthly. So just people who have their own. Most of them are kind of companies, multinational type things.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to show you. So, but what's your expected turnover, do you think? It won't affect what's down there now, I think, but just give me an idea.
Yeah, so if I look what it was in the first year, it was 57,390 was turnover.
Okay.
Profit at the end was 21 and a half. Well, 21,552 to be exact.
Okay. So that level I've got there is probably accurate enough. But it'll, you know, if business drops, these drop. If business goes up, these go up, but they don't sharply move or anything. Start date. Let me see what my start date was. Oh yeah, sorry.
I'm hoping that we're like from June onwards, we're going to kind of return to what our first year was, and maybe even go beyond that a bit, and then we'll obviously hope for continued growth after that. But it's very much reliant on COVID-19 and vaccinations and passenger confidence to travel again, so that airports are being used and there's money flowing in the airports again.
Okay. Well, say with us for the setup, training, and the subscriptions, right? You're at 600, which I've mentioned that a few times, plus VAT is on the setup work and tidy up and the training. And the subscriptions for the 2 programs and the support from us with them is 43 plus VAT a month. And that kicks in a month later. And end of the year, if things, I can tell you'll be kind of up to date anyway. End of the year, but we'll come back and re-agree that with you. Okay, you'd be, if you're grade 1, direct rates, you'll be, sorry, 50% discount. And the corporation, now this way you see the amount of things to be done. Grade 1, tax return. You have a B, you have a form to go into the company's office, say the company's alive. You've got just monthly options, and you've the company's office filing fees. And I don't think there's anything else down here. E-signing. If you e-sign the accounts, there's no charge. But if you want to handwrite stuff, 200 euro goes on top. Yeah, so that's just obviously to put people off.
There's the directors.
Yeah, the director's return. I'll show you how we price that, but just to give you an idea anyway on the yearly stuff. Your yearly accounts there are 336. Corporation tax return 105. You know, there's nothing frightening. You know. And the reason they're at that, we're really down to what's not in there, claiming tax breaks. We'll have done quite a lot during the year. You find we're on you during the year. So our plan is to space out the work, so we're not doing a rake of it at year end, you know. But a lot of people finishing at the moment, you know, and we're giving these type of quotes out. So the director's tax return, I'll just show you how that, these are, I guess they're recorded anyway, so you can come back on it. So it should be personal tax return. You, yourself and your wife have an employment here, so there'll be 2 employments. Do you have any rental properties or anything going on?
Nope.
No. You may have medical expenses. No. Okay. Or dental? No. No. Tax clearance, sir. They're 50 quid. So just we've always been asked for them, so we had to put a cost on them to slow people down. But you're already only at that, so but there might be something else at the
Yeah,
time.
there may be a. Sorry, I saw one there as well. There may be a gift tax as well.
Okay.
But that might be for next financial year. I don't know. Yeah, so it's something that we'll get to when it comes to that stage, I guess. But yeah.
Exactly. Well, you see there, your director's tax return, assuming it's just one, including the 2 of you, is 350 plus VAT. So,
yeah.
No, but as the more things go on, there might be 50 quid here, 100 quid there. Depends. Something really small, 30 quid, other income. But yeah, so we kind of, once we finish the company accounts, we then will go out the director's return afterwards. That's become a much more important document than it used to be. So we don't kind of include that anywhere anymore. We just price it as to what's going on. Just relook at it on its own. But that's the way we do it with everybody. It's much better. Yeah, and it's done quite swift then. So but you can kind of see,
Super.
yeah, where you're going. So what I'll do is I'll trim this down. I'll just put on the subscription side of it for now, and because these are only relevant when the year is up. Okay. And also you can get someone else to do it. You know, at least you've got your account so strong. So I think this should only be subscription. Yeah. So that's where you're at. One stop there, and I'll put together that proposal for you, and you'll have that in a few minutes. You know, and you can approve it, and I have a small video that goes with it, just talking you through it. But basically, it's only 60 seconds. Yeah. And that's that. So that's kind of where you're at. The only other procedural thing, if you do go ahead with that, is I'd need, if you want to kind of, start in on it right, I'd probably need, or you will need to say something to Parfrey Murphy that you're leaving them. And there's changeover information I wouldn't mind getting in. It'll be tax breaks they've claimed on your behalf, a copy of the last corporation tax return, a copy of your last director tax return. There's information there relevant to the next return. And time to get it is now, So
Yeah.
So
No,
I won't send anything
I had
to you. Okay.
a contract with them. So I had a 1-year contract with them, and we decided not to renew it. So what I can do is